What's up, everyone? It's Gio again, and today is the start of my cybersecurity home black project. This is going to be video number one, numero uno of this project. So if you're looking at my blog or vlog, everything will be nice and categorized, and you'll be able to kind of find it this way. But this is video number one, where I'm gonna kind of discuss what this project even is, what it hopes to accomplish, and I did kind of come up with a network topology diagram that I'm going to be showing you guys, kind of give a rough idea of how everything will be connected. I mean, not necessarily configured, but how everything's going to, work out to help get a better visual idea of everything. So, first things first, we needed a couple of things. I needed to make sure that I had a server in order to build all these virtual machines that I plan on doing, and the virtualized environment that I plan on creating. So I went on Facebook and I bought a server, and it's a big one. So let me get it for you guys. I'm gonna show it for you. Give me one sec. I have it right here under me. Oh, it's a heavy one. And here it is. Here is my server that we will be using. I know, it's humongous. It's really heavy too, by the way. But yeah, it's Dell Optiplex 5050 that I ended up buying. And yes, I know it's not actually a server, but a server is basically just a computer, but much bigger. But for me, for a small case, small format, small scale of what I'll be doing, this is all I need. It had everything I need. It has a nice, good processor to be able to handle some virtualization. I actually went ahead and then added some more RAM, so I have 32 gigs of RAM on here of DDR4 RAM. I also have a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD that I installed on here just to help the data store, help speed up the process of loading up the virtual machines and stuff. But yeah, I've already actually gone ahead and powered it on to make sure it works and everything, and I actually installed the hypervisor already. I'm going with VMware ESXi. I figured that it's a better use case for my scenario. Reason number one that I actually chose ESXi over like Proxmox is because VMware ESXi is used more in corporate environments, in enterprises. It is bigger. Proxmox is pretty big in the home lab community. If you go on Reddit or you search, personal home labs and stuff, a lot of people just, like to go for it. But the number one reason that I'm building the home lab is to get experience in an enterprise environment, and so I want to make sure I'm using a lot of the tools that these companies are using and exposing myself and learning them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys that network topology diagram that I designed here. In the middle of everything, we have our host PC. That is going to be this guy. This is our host PC running our ESXi hypervisor. We are also going to, within that hypervisor, we are going to create 6 virtual, actually technically 7 virtual machines. One of them is going to be our pfSense firewall/router. That's going to be right above here that you will see will then be connected to our home router. Reason we are going to be doing that, and we're actually going to be setting that virtual machine up first, configuring it, is because I want to isolate the home lab environment, the entire home lab network, from my actual home network. So that way, if I accidentally break the internet in my home lab, it won't piss off my family. It won't take the actual whole internet down, and then I don't have to worry about resetting that whole internet, and it's just all isolated and it's more secure. A lot of these virtual machines that I'm going to set up are going to be purposely built to have vulnerabilities in them, so that way when I use Nessus scanner, it's going to detect these vulnerabilities. If I have it exposed, it's potential to, if I have it exposed to the internet, it's a possibility that an attacker may get in there, and I don't want them crawling into my real home network, and then eventually ending up on my actual PC. So that's what we're going to do first. And then as well, we're also going to set up 3 different virtual machine servers. One of them is going to be, our Windows 2022 server that we're going to use as our domain controller and set up Active Directory in there. Another one we're going to use as our Nessus server. So, yes, I could technically run Nessus off of our Active Directory server, off our domain controller, but that's no fun. I have 32 gigs of RAM in this. I want to use this, so I'm going to make it its own virtual machine. And I'm also going to do the same thing for Splunk. So Splunk will also be on its own server that I can access. I'm also going to have some virtual machines quite a couple actual desktops, we'll call them. So I'm going to have a Windows 10 and a Windows 11 virtual machine. I'm going to have a Linux Ubuntu virtual machine. Um, and I'm also going to create a Kali Linux virtual machine that I'll then use later in the future. Once I have my home lab network actually environment set up, I'm going to use this Kali Linux machine to actually try to attack my network and expose some of the vulnerabilities that that Nessus had picked up. I mean, those will give me good practice and as a cybersecurity red team, as a pen tester to see if I can crack into my own home network or virtual home network, I should say, as I want to actually be affecting my actual real home network. So I'm going to try my best to replicate what a corporate environment, enterprise environment would look like and mimic that as much as possible, just on a much smaller scale. Eventually I will also try to set up an RDP server and figure out a way to be able to access my network as if I was a VPN user. So within pfSense, I'm going to enable OpenVPN and get that configured to allow remote access. As in this day and age, a lot of users are either fully remote or hybrid. So we need some way for some laptop that isn't physically connected to our network to be able to access and talk to Active Directory in our domain controller and a lot of the network shares and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna hook this bad boy back up. I'm gonna get started on configuring that pfSense router, and I will see you guys on the next post. The next post may be a blog post, a written text blog post, it may be a vlog. I'm not fully sure yet. I'll see whichever seems easier. But as always, thanks you guys for joining. Hopefully, you're excited to start this journey as I am, and I'll catch you guys later.